same place as where we normally used to park them. No, it's just round. I passed it as I come down, I didn't realise.
It's only champagne, just shake it, the top will come off. Hey! I got it. It went up a bit, didn't it? Boom! What was that? That is not right. Oh, the champagne they opened. Champagne. That's when you brought a firecracker. Champagne. Choom!
Oh, yeah, that's a bit. Oh, give us that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll have to get a
Campers are not English, just campers.
No,
Have you got a glass yet, Jeff?
No, yeah, pretending. We're only pretending.
Do a nice little smile?
Yeah.
That's all you get.
I'll get my table.
Hang on, we'll find another table. Tell me what to do now. Lots of room here. Get the
Everybody on the court can put your things on board. So that one, that yellow and white one.
That wasn't bad, was it? Was it?
The gearbox. Yeah, that's the gearbox is far nearer to your seat and far better put down in the gears in that. Well, the other one, that yellow and white one, you need to go to fall out your seat. The gearbox is behind you, you've got to... That's it again. Yeah, well, I can only reach there with a bit of effort, like.
As a piece of orange.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm still here. Okay. That's champagne, you mean?
Where did all the glasses go?
Bit much, eh?
Long way down, I tell you.
Look like ants, eh?
It's horrible.
You don't like this sort of thing, so.
Restaurant right down the bottom there. I know that in between. Oh, nice.
Some nice churches here, though.
Oh, beautiful, isn't it? This one. New South Wales, but not with that on it. Bowling green down there. There's a little table ship in there. A carrier thing.
Yeah. What are you looking for, sir? I ain't got any. Sue asked me.
You've got it laid in purple all right. See the nail button, haven't you? We haven't got out to the north yet.
You'll have to get him one of them. Yeah, extended. That's next Christmas. Can you get it in? They're the trips that not sure.
What's that old sailing vessel?
At the hang of that one, it's quite
Oh, they got it.
They look like little lamps. One of it, I wouldn't want them all. Me neither, Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! The dad's doing it now, but there you go.
Go on your road.
That's all right.
Can I get past it? It's one
I'll go in there at the way, Bob. Right. That.
First name's only John Albert.
I'm not walking up to the cafe.
Oh, no sound on it, it's yourself. There's no sound on it.
Come on.
No sound. There's no sound with it. Well, I could put music on.
Yeah. Take them into the light, will you? Tell us to go over into the other light because I can't see them. Over where that bright lights are. Hello. Hello, Dennis. You've got to switch that off for a minute, Sylv. You've got to tell me when you come on, Sylv.
You give me strength to carry on.
Oh, the light beating, okay.
Not really, Bob, but I'll try to get as much backlight as possible with it. You know? You're switching off then, Phil.
Get them all in, Jim. Dragon, though, a good looking one. Nice bloody before. Come back slowly.
It's like an artist at work.
I brought it for the bloke, but he's busy. Get him another one now.
Very nice. You can have a look at the tape, Jim. You can have a look at the tape. You can get a photo. Yeah, very nice.
Paul, sherry, whiskey, brandy. I don't know what the bad is yet. Lemonade, cool.
Happy birthday, decorations there. That's all. Sit on there with Nana. Yeah. You sit there. I have to watch this. Oh, she's got to watch it. I have to do this. She's the tape issues. Tape issues, the changeable, the old sounds. You don't have to sit still, you can move. You know, I'm in the photograph tape on. Have a look in your, I'm doing your photograph. Alright. It's okay. This is like that. What you mean, you react? This is about that. Undo your Presley, see what's in there. Undo your little Presley, see what's in there. I said they would. Come to the other end. Now to the other end. Pure crystal, that is.
Hold it still, Mrs. Lee.
Come on, John.
What do you want to drink, Reg? What do you want to drink? That's Mrs. Bourbon here, that's yeah.
Diamonds are the girl's best friend.
Going back to England. Going back to
Brandy and lemonade. Happy birthday to you, Anna. Many, many more. How are you, Mrs. Bird? Just keep filling the box and goes around it. 21 again. Oh, here we go. Do you like the cake? Okay. That cake has their own
You iced it?
No, I didn't ice it.
What have you done with it?
I bought it. That's her friend.
Switch it off for a minute, though,
Come on,
Fantastic sound, yes. I like to see all the
We have to move today of holidays.
How are you? Pretty good. That's cool. Get the drink outside.
He's given me a glass.
A nice surprise for us.
What have you got here? I'll go out there. I'll go out there.
It's like every day, year and a day. It didn't go that we were 24 hours off, that's all. The main thing is we got and we forgot it now, mate. Well, we keep telling everybody you meet, we forgot it.
So the main thing is that you're enjoying your holiday.
Yes, very much.
Oh, it is, yes.
I think the weather's fantastic actually for the winter.
Hey, Arthur, when you go back and you'll be lovely and brown, you'll soon get jobby. We said, we don't understand it. We get jobby.
I'll be really sick when I get back.
It's switching it off.
I can't keep looking at
Hang on. I'm looking around to see where it is.
This could be the wild nose here.
Trisha?
Brenda? Brenda?
I'm working on How long are you for? How long are you for?
Can we go back on the 20 minutes? No, I want to get some sound.
Right this side.
Yeah, at least it's good.
No, the other people were looking for me. So I have a partner over and 3 people looking for me. I don't know, but it's more than anybody else gets off, so we've done very well.
That film's still going in there. Does it see like it's playing?
Yes, the lights are still flashing on.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in the wife. I'm really disappointed in the wife. Yes, no, I'm not now to persuade.
Nobody shows.
Maybe next time.
Oh, we go now. Put that away.
News of the world.
Well, you got 5 minutes. Right. I've got 5 great choosing living. My fortune is the breakfast first. Can't believe that together. It's only 2 months to turn up the lives of all the kids. When you want to just tell me, that's what I like to pull again.
Hi, Jim.
Do you mind? Do you mind just stepping aside?
I don't mind.
Doesn't get out there.
Maybe you bought Holly in you dig.
Stay there, Linda.
Got the knife.
Why is he getting on?
Can we have a drawing? And the issues of the kids.
That was lovely.
I managed to get Linda at last, I think. Didn't the bloke walk right in front of me?
I'm just very pleased. I didn't come up with
Managed to get Linda for a change, eh? Right, here we go.
Linda.
That's alright. I had a baseball team fun of me. It was some, when you speak, he walks in front, so.
That's why we had the photograph in the paper.
How long was this thing you ran? Like is it half an hour long? Is this what they use for Archie's project? And then I saw Susan's wedding now video.
Everybody has to look this way. It's all on the
That's beautiful.
You've probably got a photograph of a big red balloon.
Got it now?
I want to get a
What now?
Can we borrow it one more time?
We've got to go back for the exam.
Then you go back in the place you were before.
Can you come back over here, Gary, where you were?
Oh my God. I hope you've been smiling.
Where's it gone?
Tagging on you now.
One last one,
Concentrate on the cake and stuff.
Are you ready?
I hope so. That's it. Get rid of that. Say cheese.
Oh God.
Come on.
There's that young lady. One more please.
Okay, it's fine.
That's why it's still a bit hungry. That's all right.
Yeah, I know. Everybody focus except the young lady.
Push mine up, I'll shake the tree. Just the opposite, I'm from back. Back's cold, I'm cold.
We don't mind, we've been to the station. But 2 years after that, I remember lived in the end house. Ring Street in the end house.
Yeah, I've got another one coming somewhere, but I'm not sure.
I haven't had any of that like that yet. White and red.
There, look, one's coming in there. That's what you do there. And in them I've got some of the gladiola. Not that, them. What do you call it, marigolds? And I've got these are some stock, but they were very little stock, but weather doctor. Yeah, but I thought if I put them on the edge, I've got some pens
Put them in that bed down.
yeah, these are this one, honey bay. And that one in the middle.
Just tell them, last time I was here, this time you took a picture of blanket.
Yeah, and I'm so just took it up my face. Well, I've got this
I got one for you, one for mum. Tonight I'll take it for myself, because I'm a flowers, I know, so I feel the gold.
Just on a nice song doesn't feel like, oh, well, because it's never got it in there. It's never cold.
Until it's kept first.
It's not feeling the cold at all.
That's what we was. Where the leaves have been eaten. And I don't know whether it's because we don't dress for it. We don't dress for it. When it's not cold.
Take pieces off and start there. Because they get underneath.
I've got a ice in there because when it's like the heat, we get the dry heat, but we get that dry cold as well. No, Arthur doesn't believe it gets cold. Well, you can't rumble it.
I was the same. I remember, I used to be to work with these things in my overalls, you know.
Well, our first summer, our first winter, looks like summer. We never wore a coat, we walked around, you know, in short sleeve jackets. Mum and Dad walk up to the shops. Yeah, it'd be nice for a
You should walk, there was no way. You should walk through the paths, through the path, then the landowners there, didn't they? That's what, there's no roads, was there?
Are you drinking, Greg?
Oh, no,
Why's that?
Our first winter was just like an English summer.
That's right, I just walk normal past it. No difference. I might even get me on it for once.
What I've seen of it, I'm at work now. Kill.
I bet you
Jim's got me the
These are
And I just felt like this conversation.
Oh boy, normally. Yeah.
This one just moved in over the road there. I think it belongs to his gentleman, right? And this conversation had a grabbed up the other one by the neck. You won't come with me. Father, but I
We were laughing here the other day yesterday actually, it's the habit catch.
Who's playing these?
Just put them there and get a bottle opener. Don't put them all in.
Oh, there's room.
Don't put them all in there, so you get one out.
Just put them all
one, Dave?
No, at the moment.
Once you've been there a couple of years,
Oh, it makes a difference.
Good evening.
I know we're now.
I don't think we'll get hot at the moment, do you? No, temperature's dropping very rapidly.
Had a busy time since you've been here, so I think
He said he'd be glad to go home yesterday.
Glad to go home for the rest. God, I'm rowing after him all day.
I'd sit down and relax if I was you.
They said you put on weight since you've been here, so I can't
Sure,
believe
I think the world of it.
They're not rowing in the boat.
put on weight.
Fine, fine. Loads of exercise.
It's alright, no problem.
What size glass do you want?
Holiday, wasn't it?
As long as we can relax once a week, you don't mind.
2 once, 1 day. It's all right.
What size glass do you want for the mug?
You're a Canadian
Yeah,
man.
some doing Anglo.
How about this?
Did you see the picture in the paper?
I'll get them till there, isn't it? No, at the moment we can do now, whenever ready. No, well, leave for a minute, I've got to turn it so. So, I'd have to turn it somehow. I'll have to turn it somehow so it'll shine down where you are.
Send me at the way down. Because you're so I know, and it's a habit. Everybody calls it just simple like
Is this yours I'm pinching, Jim?
No, I've got a glass bottle.
I usually end up peeing in there too. Not that tough.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, they were
This is Susan Sylvia.
more.
Very pleased to meet you.
And where's Greg?
More.
Oh, yeah, in a minute.
Come here, come here.
We were just saying it's obvious you don't feel the cold too much.
What?
We were just saying it's
So you
obvious
don't
you don't
feel
feel
the
the cold.
Boiling.
After a couple of years you wouldn't say that.
Keep telling him wait till
We're just saying I was the
keep
same.
telling him wait till summer comes.
It's been lovely the last couple of days.
We've had a lovely 3 weeks,
I didn't want it to go warm.
Oh, come here.
Are you all right now?
I don't know which one is what it's going to do.
Timmy, come on.
I don't know which way it's going.
I'd like to see a drop of rain.
I know what it's like.
Right, see what the light
Put that light on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, I've got 3 jumps on. You should be right. You should be right.
You want that?
That one on.
The thing is, it changed.
When I was doing it, I was just like you.
You're looking at your chair.
Didn't feel the cold at all.
I was the only one that didn't get my name in the way out of news.
Yeah, that's right.
You went through that, idiot.
Get used to it. Get used to it.
They're plenty of the SK.
No, I wouldn't have made them go down there.
SK, don't they?
A bit of exercise.
Over there, we've got spikes.
What's going
Spikes in the back and you
Ready?
Come here, Select. Where's Greg?
Right. Anyway, let me get that sorted there, Jules. See what we got.
Come on, Jim.
Come on, Bob, go get something to eat.
I'll go after you. I'm not going to eat yet.
Get something to eat.
I'm having my aperitif yet. I'm having my aperitif yet. I'm having my aperitif yet.
The plate down, break.
Okay, we like that.
She gave me cardigan with a brooch and a shade.
Pretty, isn't it?
I just know, just 6 ounces of it.
Right, you want to go and play with Ted? You want to go and play with Ted?
Yeah, look.
Like you can't use your finger hold it. 5 and 12.
And then you go over the other side, over there.
Oh yeah, I like that cup. Yeah, you like that hot peppery stuff, don't you?
Yes, sir. I don't know if that has much help with this family rider.
No, but I'm saying
It's so just for recovering from the rest putting it for life.
Another 10 minutes.
you never did tell us who won the rugby.
I didn't watch it, I went off doing dishes and things.
We felt sure you'd have got the results.
Did Canterbury beat the referee and all or not?
I don't know, I didn't watch it. It started with it, beat Canterbury.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Did Canterbury manage to beat the referee and all or not?
Yeah.
No, South won.
Yeah, 10-6 then?
I don't know, we went South.
Yeah, 10-6.
I was about the first 5 credits and I said, Jim, I said, if Canterbury win, they've got to beat the referee as well.
Double
Ray
time.
said they had the chance to make it level, and when he kicked, when he hit the post.
We don't have that now.
Yeah, it's over the well, the things are here.
Yeah, I was wrong to got a breakdown.
It's nice to be a blue eye.
A lot of strangers, eh? Alright. A lot of strangers, eh? Could be alright, eh? Not going to do no harm. No, not going to do no harm.
Looking for a fuss, aren't you? Eh?
Yeah.
Chop now,
Yeah. Why not?
He's really trying to get you all on television Get on the
There we are.
I'll show you around.
Carry away.
It's got that wide angle lens on.
It's alright, don't rush, Bob. Keep your feeding. That's amazing.
I should just have not been fighting it actually with all the running about the other day. Up and down mountains and
When Sylvia says it runs, she means it runs. When I said we go for a run, I mean
on this barbecue, so.
eh?
I'll put these on the barbie.
I can tell I'm allowed.
That's all right, I'll put them on the barbie.
No,
Oh, you've got it hidden, have you?
I forgot to bring it out, you see. I never bothered about myself.
Oh, look at this. This was hiding the beetroot.
We always get used to it. Sleeping there, oh yeah. We never quite made it to where, so we don't know.
Yes, Brenda would like. Brandy, would you like to sit on
Right over the
that
top there. Unbelievable, isn't it? You said it very frightening.
Or
The bike.
you know,
The bike.
said it's magnificent view.
It's got plenty. What about your mum? You alright? You got a drink?
I'm alright at the moment though, thank you.
Good girl, Patch.
Sammy down.
She's a good girl. Alright, thank you.
Special afternoon shift. She missed out.
A bit disappointed, but she gets 20 hours for a day. And all her on is clean.
Tuesday night out.
Yeah. And then when you finish Thursday, you start
Peter's is open. His last afternoon tomorrow. Yeah, Peter's has changed. They start on a Monday and the last afternoon shift's on a Sunday.
Bad news, isn't it? Why don't watch it? I don't know why we watch it. Very depressing news, isn't it?
I didn't know until the other week when they were trying to rent the ships and that. Oh, you're on the
I've just got to the stage of thinking why it's not very little good news.
Thing is, you're going to play on this one.
He had a break that day for a happy day. And then when she might be there, they didn't think why you wanted. She don't go to work. They get the last stories on it to have work. Yeah, it's not usually
About 2 days over it, Good boys, good girls. Well, there's one thing about you, I've never really sweating. Aye, it was work. Now I'm looking for this. We'll change the sweatshirt.
That's a common sausage, that is. And you turn your nose off a dog. No.
Fine.
English pork sausage.
Like a tap turned
No,
on.
it's where the flowers are.
Yes, BJ and Western did it when you look at it. Get away!
Well, we drink gallons and gallons of tea.
Having the 2
Well,
days there,
gallons
taking
of
anything
tea.
wrong. What's she sell? She don't eat an awful lot, does she?
That's right. Right.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. Right then. Good.
You're for about another week, aren't you?
Still here.
What day is it? 18. Yeah, 10 days. 11 days. Yeah, we'll do.
That was very nice, Phil. Very nice. When did you put your plates on it? Already? Yeah, good.
Oh, come on round the throat. Love yourself.
Hey. No, look, heads up. Come on.
We're not going to do you no harm.
Me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Want a beer?
No, I'm off to work.
He's on 4 till midnight.
I'm afternoon shift.
Yeah.
Hey, telling me. This is
That's new for you, isn't
In the morning sometime.
I've had a good job of it, didn't I? Do you want anything to take with you?
No, I've got...
You sit down. Sit down now. Good girl. You stay there. Oh, the sour one. Oh, stop. Oh, that's right one.
Sour good.
You got a sour gherkin that he's trying to try and get rid of it.
I like sweet gherkins.
Look, I said to I like sweet gherkins. Oh, they're sour.
I thought, oh, I'll just hang on a minute because I'll tell you that it's sour good.
It's like having a drink of vinegar, it is.
You're just trying to appease the Aussies saying you like sweet gherkins.
Patch.
Still can't eat sweet pickle. It's going to be sour pickle. I can't eat sweet pickle.
Right. Go on, darling.
Mm.
First, you prefer, that's why we always get the sour gherkins. You like the sour gherkins.
Mm.
You don't like any. I don't mind them. Very lucky girl.
You took it over.
Right.
You're a lucky girl.
There's a chap at work whose mum's got a reputation of making
Look at this.
I get a bit hectic on Monday travelling because she's
It's terrible coming up with it. Grandpa on Friday morning will be alright, and on Thursday night.
about 7
Very, very I don't know. Neither does Alan. Neither does Alan. Alan don't like camels. Camels. They look awful. Camels. When we were down at
This went for me.
We came back from Port Lincoln on
the jetty.
Thursday.
No.
Down at Port Lincoln.
The station.
Oh, Sunday Bay Port
His youth,
Lincoln.
and he had 2 camels following back
Down all day.
and all the rest were following.
They're not big.
About what, 10
Yeah, well, that's what we
camels, and
said.
take them for a ride.
Oh, we don't tell.
Walk them down to the beach.
Surprising, how many people are about to know these Just have
Patch.
a nice steady 100
Patch.
Well, the thing is,
And it would be and it was trying to get the kind of straight and it jumping on his back.
Yeah, but more me. In Iceland, right?
They were beautiful, weren't they?
Yeah, I have to tell that bloke. This song will see him in Adelaide. This song goes to Adelaide, I'll tell him about it.
That's great.
Mm.
Lovely and tender.
there's no way you're going to get on your own. Really? Yeah, but you're coming
I
behind.
never said it happened to you when I came last time. This with the animals,
Mr. Hawke, all these things have got to come through.
Yes, I know.
If you want to I'll see what happens.
Okay, come to the...
Thank you, mate. Alright? Yeah, sure.
I'll do it. Yes, it does.
Well, are you ready for a blanket? Are you ready for a blanket?
alright, I've got a roll.
Remember we were here last time, it's getting on, it was this time of year.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
That's how you get a cold, look.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
I know Marvin is just used to be in places where you first came over,
Very hot, really nice.
Yeah, so what is that? Martin.
Yeah. 42 when we were out in London, we were around here.
We should be like that. It would have been a bit of a shock.
We've got when we go home, we had
Hey, join off that chair. It's got on the chair, sweet, don't you?
It's a long time went from roaring to white, just on the heat.
I thought we started off the chair.
In theory, it's really messy.
So I need to get up on that. Take it lay down.
Right. No, no, we're done.
So you go. The mechanic turned on the car.
You can.
You keep walking here, it makes a difference. You just walk past the wall, and it's just like walking in the air on the film
But you're getting a bit frightened, usually. Yeah.
People have been around.
Not really bright.
Brighter than normal. A bit brighter than normal.
We have our you never see snow.
Well, Peter, down tonight. Never seen it.
Oh, it's been such a big party, don't you? It's been such a big
We went to the Gambia years ago.
Have you got a beer?
I wouldn't be greedy.
Cottage got a couple of eyes.
Very much. That's kind of yeah. Thank you for showing up.
My turn now, she said. You can't make it me before, it's my turn now.
Oh, look at that. What you know? She's right there, they won't drag that cover on. We won't believe it, won't you? Just chasing the dog. You tell him.
She's not bothered, is she? She's not right. She's not got budge. She's no intention of budge. Oh, dear me. Who's the boss there?
I'll tell you what, if Patch was a dog, she'd be bothered.
Thank you, Patch.
That was amazing. Let me proud of you.
Just gone to sleep there. We've just gone to sleep there.
Let's get you something.
Gonna be.
Oh, yes,
Boat back, didn't I? Go on, tell them. Go on.
What you come back for? He said I forgot the house. What you all went
He said, I better go, but I've left it.
Yeah, wait, that's on fire.
But the drawers is here, tell her, don't I? What's he got?
I told him.
The wrong way.
She could kill him, I suppose he could see
Ellen passes a tag with lemon. She leaves in the kitchen. And there's no pepper.
This is exactly what happened. That's what I'm doing. There was in the back with me. I had the radio from the gear.
He takes up and pulls the ball down and pulls his dog out. But he said, that's no good. Down the cloud and ball.
This is just one. This is just one to see it. Well, I'm a regular, so this is something to put in.
I'll probably first go back to Wally looking for a job, and that was it.
It's got to go to work.
One of the funniest things when we first came to Australia, like, we lived up in Heathcote, you know, and not all that far from Liverpool.
Sydney.
Yeah, we weren't far.
Yeah, but
and he had some sort of blonde guy. And this day it was raining, and we lived in this ammunition box. And the big packet was going to go across, and it just looks on the mud, but it's rain. So what he had on, his thongs, his shorts, because it was a humid day, and his raincoat. And
Plastic one, then plastic one.
they come out and his hair on his leg was sticking out, and he looked so comfortable.
Well, I can't imagine why.
Through the mud. Go on, tell them about it. Yeah, to get to work.
And when Jim come back from the Newcastle and that, you know, and he was looking for work, he went up to find his job for a bricklayer, and then phoned me the next day in the paper in Stanford as this one.
Yes, Stanford.
Just like me rug at home, it is. Just like me rug at home.
That was our luxury liner, wasn't it, that fishing point?
It's all my mishaps that people take mickey out of me of over the years.
Things blokes will do for a laugh.
Yeah, anything. Get publicity. To get publicity.
When my brother and his friend came over, Jim got the boat. Well, Reggie, my brother, came with us down to Port Lollick, which was Port Bernard and Port Lollick was then. And he came with us by road, which is very, very not as nice as it is now. And Jim and Brian, they went in Jim's little pop-pop boat, you know. They said he's got pop-pop. Anyway, they got all the way round. They left a few hours before we did. They arrived about the same time. And just as Ra was getting off the boat, she just took about a couple of people in touch. I wonder if the neighbours here are very friendly. Beautiful beach and that, you know, nobody, you know, but now you go down Port Lollick and it's absolutely packed. I still call it Port Lollick, I can't get used to call it Port Lollick. I don't know why they changed it.
Yeah, I know.
Guidelines say any bricklayers we hire should we just say with Aboriginal?
Blue, I think.
Yeah.
That's the country you build it in the top now.
It was at that time, wasn't it?
There's an Aboriginal over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you've got your trade, you can't get the job. If you ain't got it, somebody gets it.
Yeah. But that's what what I'm saying. It's sort of a semi-racialist sort of idea, but that's what sort of they've took over with it now, haven't they? From that way.
Yeah.
One of them fires that Timberbank would have been ideal.
Oh, down at the races, isn't it? The paraffin ones, yeah. Yeah, paraffin fires.
So black block. The trouble somebody's got to give it to the black block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit with Patch.
The thing is, if it's about the black from the white man going for the job, and the white man gets it, the black man, it's all not the same, well, because the black man is no trouble.
Go on, Susan, get the other side over so you can't
Hold
get
him up.
that
He only wants to cuddle in there. Oh, Sammy, you so...
That could be nice and warm.
No, he just climbs in the bed and kicks everyone else out so he can be warm.
Warm to me.
Everybody's passing you on both sides.
Just for a couple of days before they leave.
Canberra's the place you go in a helicopter.
Yeah, or West Beach.
We'll go and
Plus they've done them all up now too, those roads that make it so much easier to get
have a look at them. And she wanted to go back down the Commonwealth Road and all these races there. Take the next turning on the left, it's funky.
Well, if we live in here, you're a
Funky next turn on the left. Turn left, it's not what you said it was. You go backwards, it's a
That's what they're saying now.
We went down again, coming back. Suddenly,
I think people seem more friendly when you live
right, you turn left at next one, turn left at next one.
in a town. You don't know
Same road
anybody. You
again.
don't even know your
She
next
said,
door
you passed it. I said,
neighbour.
no, she didn't. I said, it's that bloody bridge we go under.
The way things are going.
She wanted to turn left and bloody fly over.
No, not where we live, not like it used to be.
So we think
Not
we're
going
going out
across
for
the
that. And Mummy never come back here from the kid.
Because you're involved with your own family, aren't you? Your own friends, you sort of
Underpasses,
keep your life so busy.
Yeah, if you don't know the place. Show them on the bloody map.
because you've got to get in the right lane.
If they'd have put on the map, if they'd have put like a flyover to the direct line across the road,
Well, these next door the same, they don't
or
say.
underpass the road, it went on the road, stopped and let you road go through. It wasn't like that on the map. It was just a very crossroads, and there's no crossroads.
A big shed down there, didn't they? That's very, very This must be this house, right?
All together now.
They've not stayed in this house next door, so that's spent a lot of money. Where did they do that?
When did you go?
Next door, outside, we can't say it, that's what my mum says. She lives 123 ever, so I wasn't ever told me yet. Really, that's more important than anything, isn't it?
We'll be still staying here.
Then let's get to the bit. Talking down a bit.
Oh, yes, I should think so. It would be good
Lost my beer somewhere.
Not to go in bed.
Oh, the back door.
So you got lost.
They just made that something.
Everyone take pictures of you.
Never come to
The old lady's locked in the lavatory. There it goes, isn't it?
No, you do.
Something like that, isn't it?
Never across the road, tell me.
Like the peace talk.
Don't worry, he's waiting.
They got out the guns and that. They were there.
I had to go in the middle one up again, I don't know why.
Flash.
He said he broke his leg.
Just a little bit.
That's all he likes to come for at Christmas, all the green egg
When
Jim was taking some film on the video on Saturday, someone took a flash and a reflection.
We got an image for ages on
Somebody
it.
take a flash or give a flash.
Gosh, really?
I can't take this one, I've got the dog backside.
Hey, Patch, come on. The other way, darling. Patch, come here. Patch.
I'm not going to be able to get. I'm going to have to
Sit. Sit.
We're supposed to say, you know, this is not with all the young ones and all the rest of
I didn't know.
I don't mean that where you were thinking.
Papa got you on there.
Something wrong, why don't you? He's always
Sylvia's
running
eyes
around
go
with
bigger and bigger and bigger.
He's always running around. He's always running around. No, he's not a silly typical way. He's always running around with things younger than himself and that playing, you know, supposed to be a bit retarded. And anyway,
So what you like?
because she's
lad.
no husband at all.
Whitland.
Moving somewhere, moving up and down.
I've got the wall.
Do you want a cat?
Yeah, come on.
It's cruel, it's cruel. You don't just throw your wife about like that. You're supposed to throw the dog as well. Throw your wife about. Tell me what you got.
She's there, we
It's a
never
natural
met.
thing throwing it.
It helps to be switched on.
Hey,
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. The wrong way. Look at her face. What's your name? Ah, you're lovely, Anne. Yes, you're lovely.
Well, let's put you down now.
Mind the glass.
Make your arms like, put it out there.
Okay.
It's used to down.
You better put it down, love it, make your arms like that one.
There's no good wasting your pants and down and blame it on the dog. What's going on?
Just keep him there, mate. Just keep him there.
I
Got the doggy outside before you...
Oh, that's lovely. Our dogs have got better this show now. Look at that.
He won't work. Stop looking at him.
Just stay there, Claire. Gotta get focused up.
Not going anywhere.
Make old dogs jealous as well.
Look, that's nice. Quick. Oh, that'll be lovely.
He's real funny, isn't he? That's what it is. He recognised the colours. Yeah, he loves it. At home, he sort of sits there like, what do you want? To take a note? That's some photographs of
Keep your arm down.
He's a real dog. I'm putting his foot
Get off there. He can jump, alright.
We're not laughing at you, Sam. We're not laughing at you over there. Yeah. Oh, Sammy.
See that then? You really spoiled yourself then, didn't you?
Oh,
You really lost me when you really good doggy.
Oh, did he cook his leg up your leg?
Come here. Sammy.
Oh, I'm not trusting you.
She's going to her little friend.
Stand here.
Over there.
You're in the shadow.
Where about his shadow got a flash on?
No, Sammy, stand here.
Look, I'm sleeping on that.
Catch!
You're dead right.
Sammy! Get your hands out the way, get your hands out the way. I can't see that. Shoot the bloody things and stuff them.
Shoot up, that'll make them keep it.
Just shooting the ball.
It is Monty's fault, it's not getting there.
Patch is sitting there lovely now.
Yeah, Pat's saying.
He bit me today, so...
Oh, it only bite me once, and I'm like kick it over the...
Catch!
There you are.
Too upside to him then. Where's the chap? Listen.
Get this, Sammy!
Now then, hurry up, quick.
Get your hand away, quick! Oh, I missed him! You took his head out!
Have I got to put up with that tonight in bed? Oh.
Not in your bed, Dan. I don't think they'll be in your bed, but...
They'll be sounding like they're...
You hated it.
It'd be easier to take a picture of that moth.
That's right, I'm going to
You still do, since you trod on it.
Cool things there, love
Phone. Still showing on him.
He's moving away.
I can't even see him.
He's dead.
Did you zoom out to them trees right on the corner of the thing?
This thing there.
Right on the very corner of the thing right up.
That's a great couple in the distance, isn't it? Try not to, you know.
Sort of pinpoint perhaps on that little rock or something.
Yeah, I'll put it right back in there.
Yeah.
Right.
And then let it sort of go away from you. See, and then you sort of come
What to what?
down to this here road part. So, what if you take that and move it around to something else?
That's what I'm going to. Alright. Is it going, Sil?
There's one sitting looking all by himself. Where's the other side of the tree, darling?
Hello.
Where are you? like you're belting. I know, I'm just saying. That's why.
Right down 760.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It felt like it coming round there when I'm holding this and looking through it. You know?
Yeah, I'll get it from up at one stop off the first number on the way back. Remind me, won't you? Oh, there you go.
How long should he be stopping up and down?
Oh, not long, love. And then you're going into your house. Oh, you can see the caravan there.
Coming into the,
Took all the colleges.
I'll have to,
No good yarn, no one's never in the
Done.
I think it's cool to plan up to go like the weekend. Put it down. Really cool guy, really cool.
I don't know the time. Goodbye.
Is it moving? Okay, love.
Through dawn's cold light and memory's pain, beneath autumnal leaves and silent rain, and the painted sky in the face of the Lord, a young nation born, baptized with the sword. Blood-soaked trenches, wounded and maimed, the cold stare of death a battle has claimed. A stench of cordite and screaming shell. Stand to on the step, the charge into hell. In the soft light of dusk, our thoughts turn then to the courage and sacrifice made by those men. A sound of trumpets on the wind's refrain call the colours parade, those Anzacs again.
Good morning. Today we mark the 72nd anniversary of the Anzac landing at Gallipoli on April the 25th, 1915. In the years between World War I and World War II, and with the following involvement of those who served in Korea and Vietnam and in other commitments, the Anzac March has become the national event of commemoration. And I now quote part of the tribute on the memorial plaque on the Cross of Sacrifice. A dedication to the memory of all who paid the supreme sacrifice in time of war. With me today is John Bock, well known to you as ABC newsreader and no stranger to the Anzac March, although not in Adelaide. Wonderful day, John.
It certainly is, Ron. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here on this glorious day. As you mentioned, my connection with the Anzac March is not really here in Adelaide, although, of course, as a younger person, I used to watch it every now and again. But for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been doing the commentary in Canberra for the television station I was working for there. And, of course, there we did the coverage from the Australian War Memorial. Quite an imposing place to hold the ceremony, of course. And with people like the Governor-General and the Prime Minister in the last few years attending, it really is a very impressive location. But Ron, I don't know about you, but Anzac Day to me has always meant wind and rain and a bit of a chill in the air, but today is absolutely magnificent.
I would think, John, that this, on my recollection anyway, is the best Anzac Day I've seen for at least 30 years. We're always a little worried about the showers or whatever, but today it's perfect in every respect, and especially for the marches, those old marches too. Some of them still determined to march, but I think I might take the opportunity now, as we know they're on their way, to acknowledge some of the World War I veterans who are remembered today by comrades who may be riding or even marching, giving a tribute to those past and present. So as we mention names during this Anzac March, remember they may be with us still, they may be those who passed on and we are honouring, and they may even be marching or riding. But I'd like to recommend these that you listen carefully to these good old 90 age year group fellows who still have the love of their comrades in their hearts. Ernie Crafter of the 10th 50th, who passed on last year at age 89. Ted McGregor, 95. Norm Walker, I think he's marching today. Bill Fires, 92. Murray Carman, 97. Wilf Shermer, well known. Third Light Horse, he's at Dawes Road. His old mate Blue Crass. Bill Carriage of the 9th Light Horse he's 95 at the Austral Nursing Home. That old battler in his 90s, Wally O'Connor. Thomas Henry Elder, who is 93. Doxo Barrett, former RSL Secretary Dom Pritchard, who died some years ago. John Moore, Tom Clark, Ben Baker, Percy Whittle, still with us, and we still remember them all. We catch up with a few more during the march. I know Les Gilder, who's 93, Charlie Nucky, 98, a great old battler, and Ben Collins, 91, and Oscar Bainish. Well, we might catch up with a few more, John, as they come past, but I do like to feel that this march has a very special word of respect for those oldies who've either passed on or are being remembered today.
That's right, Ron, and there aren't very many of them around. I've just come back from Kangaroo Island, as you know, and I've been told that there is only one World War I veteran left alive on Kangaroo Island. That's old Keith McKenzie. And I'm told that Keith has just had an eye operation and he's seeing better than he has for 20 years. So, Keith, I hope you're watching in on our telecast and enjoying what you're seeing.
Well, here's another old friend, especially of those of World War II. This is the famous Wiles mobile steam cooker, which has been honoured in as a most notable development in a recent Army publication, and in the preservation of 2 of these units in the Australian Army Museum at Puckapunya, Victoria. As a matter of fact, they were found at Warradale about 3 years ago and taken over to Pucka. The steam cooker was designed by South Australian veteran of the Boer War, Mr. J.F. Wiles. It was used in elementary stationary form in World War I and developed as a mobile in World War II by his sons at the Wiles Engineering Company in Adelaide to give really nutritional, and I use these words very carefully, good tucker to Australians and our allies in most areas of action.
Ron, I think I can remember some of those up at Woodside even during my CMF days back in the late 60s and early 70s.
Well, that's true. A lot of them were subscribed by towns in South Australia and in other states before they were officially recognised by the Army. They also used them on the road to Darwin when they were doing that. In fact, they more or less used as bulldozer there because they had to go ahead so that they could be set up to feed the crews when they were bitumenising the Alice Springs Darwin road.
I don't know whether they fed the boys tar or whatever, but I think back in the old days it may have been much of a muchness. I know I tried to make custard once up at Woodside that the troops weren't too impressed with. On the saluting base we've got, of course, the governor, Sir Donald Dunstan, the Lady Dunstan. Mr. Ron Payne is representing the Premier today, and the state opposition is represented by Mr. Roger Goldsworthy.
Now you can hear the sound of the 4th Military District Band, traditionally leading, the Catafalque Party and the Flag Party at the beginning of the march.
Of course, the Catafalque Party will have an important role to play later on, Ron, in the memorial service at the Cross of Sacrifice. Now, leading the parade this year on, for the first time in 20 years, is the flag of the South African campaign in the Boer War. Now, it's being carried, I think it's we haven't quite got it into the picture at the moment, probably the central flag.
That's it?
That's it there, is it? It's being carried by a great-grandson of a United Kingdom Boer War veteran. The veteran was Albert Edward Alexander Palmer, who was with the West Yorkshire Regiment, and his grandson is Private Paul Hermson, who is with the Adelaide University Regiment. The flag's been specially released from the South Australian Police Department Boer War Museum, and the Hermson family is contributing to a duplicate to be carried in all future marches.
Great to see the New Zealanders. Always a great love between the original Anzacs, the New Zealanders and the Australians. Good to see so many of them marching today.
There's the solitary marcher of the first light horse. The third light horse.
We come to the original World War I veterans. The third light horse goes back to what was known as the Reedbeds Cavalry in 1840, and they became the South Australian Mounted Rifles in 1854. Another light horse unit, the third light horse, had its beginnings in the Victor Harbour district, where the colours were laid up in St Augustine's Church in 1926.
And that solitary marcher with the third light horse, if I'm not mistaken, was Bill Fies, who's in his 92nd year. He was one of the original Anzacs. He had his 21st birthday in Palestine, and interestingly his son Donald had his 21st birthday in Palestine 25 years later in the 2nd 7th Field Regiment.
Now, we're going through these World War I units. We go to the 3rd, 9th and the 11th units, the light horse units. They'll be honoured at the end of the march by the light horse unit, which has been revived. The divisional artillery, the divisional engineers, the divisional signals, and representatives of the 12th, 52nd, the 16th, 48th, 32nd and 43rd Battalions, World War I, the machine gun battalions, the pioneer battalions, the ASC and the AMC.
It's being represented by past and present members who have served in many war zones where a support role has been needed. 1988 is going to be an important year for them, Ron. They'll have a big reunion for the Fleet Air Arm at HMAS Albatross in New South Wales, because it's going to be the 40th anniversary of the formation of the Fleet Air Arm.
Well, we got a quick glimpse of the Rands, and the Wrens, they were led by Claire Humphreys, and then some of them will be in the Red Cross cars. We're very glad to see the girls marching today, Betty Hardy and all the rest of them. Great tribute to their former friends in the service. Leading the HMA Australia marches is Colin Partington, and we'll then be going through the cruisers and the destroyers in what today looks like being a very big naval contingent, and it's good to see them.
There's the Canberra and Shropshire. Stan Nichols leading the march there.
Just to mention some of the ships which are being remembered today. The Sydney, the cruiser, was sunk in the Indian Ocean in 1941. 645 men perished. The Perth, another cruiser, was sunk in Sunda Strait in 1942. 681 on board, 357 killed. The rest were Japanese POWs for the rest of the war. The Canberra, another cruiser, sunk in Guadalcanal in 1942. 84 men lost, including Captain Getting. The Waterhen, a destroyer, sunk in Tobruk in 1941. The Parramatta, a sloop, sunk in November 1941 off Tobruk with 160 crew. There were only 23 survivors. The HMAS Vampire, a destroyer, sunk off Trincomalee in 1942. The commander and 7 men were killed. The Voyager, a famous name, of course, with that accident a little later in history. The original Voyager sunk off Timor in 1942, fortunately with no casualties. The Yarra, another sloop, sunk in 42 off Java, 150 men on board and only 13 survivors. The Armadale, a corvette, sunk off Timor in 42, 100 men lost. The hospital ship Centaur sunk off Brisbane in 1943, 268 lives lost. The Cutterbull sunk in June 42 in Sydney Harbour, 19 dead. That was part of the Japanese raid, of course. The Australia hit by aircraft in Lingaling Gulf, 1944, 30 killed and 64 wounded.
Music of the Elizabeth City Band. Behind the band, the N-class destroyers contingent.
The N-class destroyers were built in England for the Royal Navy during World War II. They were manned by the Royal Australian Navy for almost the entire war. The ships were HMAS Napier, the Nizam, the Nestor, the Norman and the Nepal. The N-Class Destroyer Association formed in South Australia only in the past few years. Notice the naval cadets carrying the banners. That's good to see.
And a very large contingent of ex-crewmen of the corvettes. If we were to run through all those names, Ron, we'd be here till next Christmas, I think. It's due to sickness. She was always known as Puss by the people in the organisation. She said that the note I have here says she's always been our official marshal, lining us up to perfection, and we'll miss her. The cheerful orders of the day, and everyone who's marching today certainly sends her greetings to Dorothy Campbell.
They're being led by Val Watmuth of the 2nd 5th Australian General Hospital. And the girls certainly looking wonderful today. Great to see the uniforms still being used too. Because a lot of these girls are very helpful in nursing homes and with aged people and so on these days. The tender hand of the nurses is never quite put away, is it?
That's right, Ron. the Norlunga City Pipe Band. Returned servicewomen. Band of Salisbury City.
This is the blue and red diamond on the grey background of the 7th Division Royal Australian Artillery. The units in this group were formed in May 1940, the 4th, 5th and 6th Field Regiments and the 7th Division Signals. They fought on the Middle East, Syria, New Guinea and Borneo. This is the unit in which Captain Roden Butler won the VC. He later, of course, became a very popular governor of New South Wales.
This is the 2nd 7th Australian Field Regiment group. The regiment served overseas in Egypt at Al Alamein and in Borneo at Tarakan. The original commanding officer was Sir Thomas Easting. And a little note I have here says that others who have distinguished service in political and civil areas include Sir Casey Wilson and Sir James Irwin and the former Justice Hogarth.
A special word to Sir Keith Wilson, the beloved Casey. I hope you're feeling fine today, Keith, and with your family enjoying watching your old comrades marching.
The band of Mitcham City, and it's certainly great to have all these bands that Adelaide boasts taking part in this parade today.
The Bands Association are very strong in South Australia. We know that they're very keen to take part in all the big events like the pageant and so on. Wonderful thing, John, the children, the young people, the girls they're bringing into the bands, and I think it's a great thing. It's good to see it. Now we're still with the field regiments.
We've just had the 2nd 14th go by.
Yes, they were raised as a unit of the 23rd Brigade of the 8th Division in October 1940. The 13th Field Artillery Field Regiment, led by Captain Casey Hollow. I hope we're lucky we can check them up today, can't we?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
That's right. Yeah, Captain Hollow. And we're very pleased for that information you're giving us on these units.
It was the only artillery unit to leave Australia composed entirely of South Australians, right?
Yeah, that's true. Fred Pride carrying the unit flag, and they served in Moresby, Milne Bay, Boona. Well, a good roll-up from that lot too. That's very good to see. Now the tank attack. Again, one of the units were not great in numbers, but a very more representative today than it has been for several years, and we're very glad to see that. They became something of giant killers in the Second War. They were part of the 9th Division Artillery, and in the Middle East, well, they're just about everywhere actually. They took part in the siege of Tobruk, were at Alamein, then on into the Pacific.
The anti-aircraft regiments, the anti-aircraft batteries. 2nd, 4th Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment. Leading the march, J.W. Shields.
The 2nd, 4th Australian Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment was another of the AIF units which began to shape the pattern of modern warfare. They were formed in Palestine in 1941 and served in Syria, Egypt, Palestine and New Guinea.
A good roll-up here from the anti-aircraft batteries, Ron, which probably has something to do with the fact that they had a very successful reunion earlier this week on Tuesday. And the former commanding officer, Roy Morford, made a special trip over from Victoria to attend that. I'm sure a good night was had by all on Tuesday night.
Yes, I don't think we'd realise just how much connection there is between those who spread out over the states since World War II, and if they can come to various celebrations and sometimes even march with the units, it's great to see it. It spells out something of the unity of Australians, which isn't always evident in the political field.
That's right. The 108 Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment was formed at Ingleburn in New South Wales in 1942.
They're led by Jack Neal, incidentally, who is the chairman of the South Australian ANZAC Day Committee. Jack does a tremendous amount of work. He's former president of the RSL, of course.
Thanks for jumping in there, Ron. I was having trouble reading some of these notes that we get. While we appreciate people feeding us all this information, sometimes it's a little bit hard to just catch on to a few of the words.
Yes, we do get a lot of late information. We do continue to stress that we like you to get the information into the RSL. The girls there are wonderful, and they really do their very best to type out the stuff for us if they can. But when it comes in late, of course, we can't do much about it.
Very large contingent here from the engineers, 2nd Australian Imperial Forces. The band, the National Railway, snuck through in that little period too, I think. Australian Army water transport. What can you tell us about? That must be their own people. I thought that was the Adelaide Uni Regimental Band, but that's coming up behind them. The Scottish Regiment, of course, has special significance for the Governor. Lieutenant General Sir Donald Dunstan is taking the salute because he actually served with that unit from 1942.
ED maintained great rapport with his troops during service and his subsequent civilian life. He went into the catering business, actually. He managed one of the original new motels after World War II.
The Adelaide University Regiment Pipe Band. I was actually a member of that band for a little time during my CMF days, Ron, learning to play the bagpipes.
Well,
never quite got there.
They have a wonderful force of Southern Command after service on the East Coast defences through the winter of 1940-41. Then they rejoined the rest of the AIF in the Middle East in March 1941. The infantry brigades are very well known of their POW. Well, there you are, Jack Ifold. I'd like to thank Glenn Crox and Bill Smith for letting us know what was happening today, and a very big roll-up of the 2nd and 3rd machine gunners. Most of them POWs.
Next up we have the Pioneer Battalions, Ron. Recruits were highly trained at the use of Adelaide. Brigadier J.G. McKenna, our one-time police commissioner. He was a company commander in the 2nd and 3rd Pioneers.
The Padre of the 2nd and 3rd Pioneers won the Military Cross at El Alamein. The 2nd 4th Battalion sailed from Darwin for Timor, but was turned back and spent the war actually at Darwin. And Alan Olsen leading the Pioneer Battalions this year.
Glenelg City Band. (110th Casualty Clearing Station, led by Major Max Dawson. It was posted to New Guinea to participate in the Battle of Milne Bay, and in the 21-month station there, it treated 12,600 wounded or sick personnel.
Wonderful reconstruction jobs when fellows, when their faces were bashed around by fire and so on. Frank Waters, who's a well-known South Australian actor, was a member of the Dental Corps.
This is the band of, says he looking at his list here, the Marion City Band.
Yes. But I'm not sure whether it was on
I think it took us all by surprise.
A bit ahead. There he goes. It looks like an Orion, does it?
It's one Orion and a couple of escorts, which I'm not certain. They could be Mackie trainers. Or...
Well, that means that the Air Force must be up the road a little way. I think
they were trying to time it to coincide with the arrival of the Air Force at the saluting base, but because of the numbers that have turned up and the bands, I guess they're going to do a bit of recalculating for next year.
There's nothing like a Salvation Army band, and this is the Citadel Band. Well, it's wonderful to see them. The Norwood Citadel Band. The nation's group there, John, but I don't know that we have...
I don't think we have any information on that.
So I think we'll acknowledge some of these groups as they come through, because we're not sure the order that they're getting. And there's the British Imperials, of course, who...
I think they're still to come, Ron. I think what we're seeing now, or what we're hearing and seeing, is the Royal Caledonian Society Band. It's been a bit hectic organising all these bits and pieces of paper that we have here, but I think we've got them right now. We'll have a bit of a breather while the band goes by.
Well, I'll say this, John. A lot of people don't realise that in the Anzac March, including all the individual Navy units, the Army units, the RAAF, there are groups, this on somebody's video, that they will let us know that we didn't know much about them.
Here's the Air Force back for another flyover, flying very low, south to north along King William Road.
Here they come. Landing lights on. Arrival on 2 jets. Wing Commander Eric Goldner, snub followed MBE Group Captain John Jorgensen. Well, look at the girls.
It's the Women's Auxiliary Australian Air Force.
The WAFs, the beloved WAFs. The leader, Gloria Bishop, President of the Central WAF Branch. The Deputy Leader, Tiny Shields, Secretary of the Central WAF Branch. The roundel bearer, Dulcie Bridgeland, who's carried the roundel for 25 years.
Must be some sort of record too.
Yeah, you've got some country members on the list there too, haven't you, John?
Yes, Mrs. Norma Feast from Mount Gambier, Mrs. Erica Poynton from Cambrai have joined the march, and quite a few other country members as well. And I notice there's one from Sydney as well, Kat Ashworth, Ira Scott from England. So certainly a very large contingent.
Now, there's a big Pathfinders reunion in South Australia at the moment. They've come from all over the world, and many of them being hosted by bands, and I wonder where they all came from until somebody tipped us off that they were going to recycle them.
Yes.
So, feature of the Anzac March, recycled bands.
Behind the band, the detachment Fighter Interceptor Squadron, which was formed at Gawler, just north of Adelaide here in South Australia. It was the only operational squadron to be formed in our state during the Second World War. It saw service in Dutch New Guinea, guarding General MacArthur's left flank in his drive through Papua New Guinea, and the squadron flew Kitty Hawk fighters, and it was led today by Brian Hall.
The RAF Kitty Hawk squadrons representing ex-members of RAF fighter squadrons. I think some of them also got a bit confused and marched with the other Vietnam units. Until very recently, most of the Vietnam veterans were serving at the RAF at Edinburgh. Their leader was George Hansbury, and they took part in operations while flying as crew members in helicopters.
The City of Adelaide Number 24 Squadron Association, the leader Air Commodore Lyle Claffer, AFC. This unit would normally be part of the Southwest Pacific area in the march, but with squadron special link with South Australia, the past president, group captain at Adelaide had seen in many a long year.
I see the Americans coming up there wearing black armbands today. A sad occasion for the Americans who came back to Australia. They married South Australian girls and so on, that lived there for many years. Their former well-known leader, Captain Tom Graham, died on Tuesday after a car accident. They're being led today in his stead by Lieutenant Dick Chugg, and they're wearing the black armbands in memory of the sudden loss of Tom Graham. They served in World War II in most Pacific areas, and of course they now have South Australian wives and families. A sad note, but very glad to see you marching so proudly today.
Yes, Ron, we're getting into the groups of the various allies now. The French coming up, always very proud to march. They're led by the president of their association, their ex-servicemen's association, Mr. William Corneloup, who at 16 joined the Maquis. I mentioned that. In fact, the two ladies in the group are Mademoiselle Annie Dufour, who's of Belgian descent, who was a member of the resistance. And she was arrested and jailed by the Germans at one stage. And Mademoiselle Madeleine Thomas, who joined the French Free Forces of General de Gaulle on September the 3rd, 1942. The Noarlunga City Pipe Band.
Yes.
Once more around the block.
I think it's marvellous that this was so well organised, because the bands have been so welcome that a run out of bands would have been a tragedy. But there again, it goes back to Jack Neal and Tom Gibson in organising the march to think of recycling the bands, and I know the marchers have appreciated it very much indeed.
The distinctive costumes of members of the Greek contingent. Of course, there's a very strong link between Australia and Greece, not only the number of migrants that we've had from Greece come in since the war and before, but of course many Australians fighting in Greece and receiving enormous assistance.
Their leader is Mr. George Krasamis, and the flag bearers Mr. P. Athanasopoulos, Mr. T. Carlos, and Mr. J. Carlos. And thank you for giving us that information.
Still to come, but we've got the group of Italian ex-servicemen.
Italians
to
coming
come
up now.
First. There are several groups marching. There are the ex-servicemen as such, and also the former what we call partisans, or the resistance fighters. And April 25th, which of course is Anzac Day, has a special significance for the partisans, because in 1945 on this date, the garrison commander of the Wehrmacht in Genoa in Italy asked for unconditional surrender to the partisans and handed over their arms and ammunition and over 6,000 soldiers. So a very significant date for the Italians.
Yes, I'd like to thank them for giving us that information today. It's, as we said earlier,
of course, many other Dutch servicemen saw a lot of service in the Dutch East Indies and in Southeast Asia generally.
One of the strongest of the ex-servicemen's European associations here is the Polish group. They combined the services of Navy, Army and Air Force. Most of them went through battlefields right from the beginning, from 1939, then Poland, then France, England in the Battle of Britain. They established themselves wonderfully in the Spitfires in the Battle of Britain. Africa, the Rats of Tobruk, in Italy, in Monte Cassino, the D-Day in Normandy, and finally Germany to the end of the war. Our Polish Australians.
The Serbian contingent?
Yes, they're coming now.
They've participated in the Anzac Day parade for a number of years here in South Australia, very proudly indeed. They represent former Allied servicemen who fought with the Royal Yugoslav Army. And
the railway line to occupied Salonika in 1942, and they stopped the flow of supplies to Rommel's Africa Corps during the Battle of El Alamein. And they participated in the rescue and safe return of over 600 American airmen who were shot down over Yugoslavia.
Now a group of some of our most recent immigrants, the South Vietnamese, many of whom have come here as refugees, having served in the armed forces during the Vietnam conflict.
And the girls marching in the national costume. I'm so pleased that these men who and women who suffered in the Vietnamese War alongside the Australians are now privileged to march in the Anzac March.
Yes, it's certainly a reflection of the
various functions you're being held throughout the year. There's always one of the international groups, or more of them, there to dance, to show us their lovely costumes. Look what they've done with food for us.
That's right.
You know,
regaling us once again with their music. And this is something about the army bands, of course, those splendid red tunics and the old-style pith helmets. Mentioned earlier the band of the Royal Military College Duntroon.
The service bands is that they break up into small groups. They often provide continuous dance music for special functions. They can turn on some pretty good jazz. They're all-round musicians, and they're a great inspiration, as you say, John, to the younger musicians too. Serving units. This has been a great addition to the Anzac March over the past 20 years or so. The cadets, the reserve and the serving units have provided more personnel, more colour, more incidents of what goes on with our services in Australia.
Yes, we don't quite turn it into the sort of spectacle that, say, the Soviet Union does, with the guns, parades of tanks and guns and missiles and so on. It's, I guess, Anzac Day to a number of people is the band of the 10th Battalion, Royal South Australian Regiment.
Marshals, these are the people who forego marching with their units to see that the march is given its true significance in properly.
And the light horse bringing up the rear.
Yes, the South Australian Light Horse Association.
Unusual position for the light horse, with the history that that unit has, being always at the forefront.
Yeah, well, they were previously the 3rd 9th Light Horse, of course, and they're using their World War I uniforms. And they assembled, incidentally, at the Light Horse Memorial down there
on the corner of North and East.
Yes. The first unit was the New South Wales honorary unit. They were called the Bush Cavaliers, actually, and they appeared in Gallipoli from the embarkation. It's interesting that some of the original guns, which were horse-drawn, have been preserved throughout Australia. Some of them were static war memorials, but a lot of them, I believe, are being put back into service at Puckapunyal purely for ceremonial occasions.
At the end of the march. At the Cross of Remembrance, the muffled bells of St. Peter's Cathedral already ringing out. The Guard of Honour taking its position. Of course, the Governor has to make his way from the saluting dais to the Cross of Remembrance. That will take some time, and during that time the Guard will take up its position, and quite a few people who've been lining the route here at King William Road will have their opportunity to walk down towards the Gardens of Remembrance to take up a vantage point as well for this very impressive ceremony.
the service at the Cross of Sacrifice will begin as all marches join the assembly, and they've always been given a very strict request from the organisers of the march that they assemble for the ultimate service of Anzac Day. I believe there was a magnificent roll-up this morning to the War Memorial for the dawn service, probably one of the best dawn services in many years, particularly in the light of the weather. Now, the Cross of Sacrifice was the tribute of the women of South Australia. It is built of tea tree gully stone. It was unveiled on Anzac Day 1922. And the cross, situated in the beautiful gardens of Pennington Terrace at the northern limit of King William Road, is so placed as to be central to the spires of the Anglican Cathedral of St. Peter. Visitors can note this as they pause at the stone of remembrance at the southern end of this garden. This stone of South Australian granite was unveiled on Anzac Day 1923.
There's the stone of remembrance now.
That's it, yes, we're looking at it now. It's part of a wonderful concept, the stone of remembrance, and then it actually faces the cross. I notice His Excellency is just coming down King William Road now. On the face of the Cross of Sacrifice is a bronze plaque which reads, "To the glory of God and the imperishable memory of the men who gave their lives in the Great War 1914-1920, the tribute of the women of South Australia." Now this plaque, and I'm reading from the plaque again, this plaque replaces the original inscription on this Cross of Sacrifice and is dedicated to the memory of all who paid the supreme sacrifice in time of war. Unveiled on Anzac Day 1965. John, it's interesting that they saw fit to replace that plaque, to include, I think probably inspired by the increasing number of women who took part in World War II.
There's the plaque there now. It's certainly a much more all-encompassing script on the plaque, isn't it?
Yes, I think we remember too that the RSL title originally was RSL IILA, the Returned Servicemen's Soldiers and Sailors Imperial League of Australia, and reduced to RSL generally, although I believe legally it still is.
Is it really?
Title.
Yes. But RSL is a bit less of a mouthful, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Through your own being at peace, there's one of those lovely red roses.
Yes. The Rose of No Man's Land was a famous song of World War I, and I've heard on the air in the past few days some renditions of this. I also heard on the air yesterday on the ABC FM program a very beautiful version of a hymn with the interpolated into the accompaniment a beautiful feeling of the Last Post. Mm-hmm. There are some very, very fine versions of hymns with the last Post interpolated in recent years, and they add again to the atmosphere of remembrance,
yes,
which is Anzac Day. At the Cross of Sacrifice, you can see them assembling there now. They're just waiting for the arrival of His Excellency.
Well, that shot really puts the scene in perspective, doesn't it? The stone of remembrance leading up to
the buglers will take their place for the Last Post in the valley. The ode will be quoted as always. It's interesting to notice the younger people's reaction when there are RSL functions to the 9 o'clock ceremony, which is still traditional in all RSL halls, and whatever's going on there, the lights go down and the ode is spoken with all the reverence from the very first day that it was brought into use.
There's the flag party also making its way down to take up its position.
And so notice that the Boer War flag in there again.
The catafalque party. Very fierce competition always between members of the various services for the honour of being a member of the catafalque party.
Arms reversed.
A slow march. And it's a very demanding job too, Ron. Certainly in Canberra during...
Shoulder up!
the hymn, O Valiant Hearts. Now follows the prayer of remembrance by Major Bradford of the Salvation Army.
God, in whose sight the sacrifices of thy people are precious, and in whose hand are the issues of life and death, we thank thee for the courage and devotion of faithful men and women who laid down their lives in the wars, and at this time especially for the men of Anzac. We leave them in thy gracious keeping, that the good work which thou hast begun in them may be perfected unto the day of Jesus Christ. And we pray that their labour and sacrifice may not be in vain, but that their spirit may live on in us and in the generations to come. Give grace to all who mourn, that they may accept thy will in fortitude of spirit and perfect faith. And to us, who abide the passing of the years in ever fonder memory, grant that we may always be mindful of the liberty, justice and truth for which the sacrifice was made, in union with the offering of thy Son, Jesus Christ, our Saviour and Redeemer. Amen. Rest eternal grant unto them, O Lord. Let light perpetual shine upon them, and may they rest in peace. Now let us share again in the hymn, Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave. In the morning, we will remember them. Sing a verse of the hymn, God Save the Queen.
Shoulder!